It's just that, I don't know, scary music and editing can make anything seem like a horror film.
Weird.
No!
It looks beautiful, but I don't know anything about her. So it's hard to develop some sort of admiration or connection with women when they're written very two-dimensional. And
saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting?
Because there was so much backlash to her arrogance and just inanity.
It's great. Okay? It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I
And when I say old Disney, I mean sort of the regime that decided that wokeness needed to be infused in every movie. If they keep going along this path, they're gonna go bankrupt.
For the last 10 years, Disney, you ain't done shit.
I'm a narcissist.
Welcome back to Celebrity. It's Olivia here.
She thought she was the next queen of the high seas. Now she's the villain in her own Disney tragedy. Rachel Zegler's Hollywood ascent was supposed to be unstoppable. From Spielberg's West Side Story to Disney's Snow White, her rise felt inevitable. She was crowned as the future, a fresh face with a golden ticket to fame. But somewhere between viral backlash, tone-deaf interviews, and memes that refused to die, something snapped. And then, the final blow, Disney handing her dream role, the lead in the rebooted Pirates of the Caribbean, to none other than Jenna Ortega. The same Jenna who's been skyrocketing through Hollywood like a Gen Z comet. The same Jenna who didn't just sidestep controversy, she became untouchable. Sources say Rachel didn't just lose the role. She lost it, period.
Before we peel back the layers of this wild unraveling, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe. If you love deep dives with no fluff, just facts, receipts, and a sprinkle of chaos, you're in the right place. And trust me, you won't believe how this one plays out.
Publicly, she stayed polished. Behind closed doors, full meltdown, screaming matches, accusations, finger-pointing at Disney's PR team, allegations that she was blindsided after months of prep. She thought Pirates would be her comeback, her redemption. Instead, it turned into a brutal reminder that in Hollywood, your public image isn't just part of the job, it is the job.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
I'm sorry, but I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over.
And Rachel decides to go on really just a psychopathic, demented rant. You've just been living in Hollywood, La La Land for so long that you're just deranged. Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them.
Drama kid.
Oh my gosh.
Jenna Ortega didn't have to launch a campaign. She didn't have to tweet a manifesto. She didn't even have to say a word. Her work spoke for her. While Rachel Zegler was battling PR disasters, Jenna Ortega was out there winning, quietly, effortlessly, relentlessly. From Wednesday dominating Netflix, to Scream smashing box office expectations, to projects with Tim Burton that reignited Hollywood's obsession with dark, edgy icons, Jenna wasn't just hot. She was untouchable. No scandals, no viral rants, no drama. Meanwhile, Rachel was making headlines for all the wrong reasons, trash-talking Snow White during her own press tour, mocking the source material she was paid millions to represent, blaming critics as toxic instead of owning her part in the fallout. Disney watched the numbers. They watched the audience reactions. They watched the memes. And then, they made the call. Sources close to the project say Disney's executives pivoted almost overnight. Rachel's name vanished from internal conversations. Auditions shifted behind closed doors. Wardrobe concepts, reportedly designed with Rachel in mind, were scrapped. Because Disney didn't just want to save the Pirates franchise, they needed a clean slate. And Jenna Ortega? She was the ultimate reset button, fresh, loved, authentic, untouched by scandal. The irony? Rachel's downfall wasn't some grand conspiracy. It wasn't even personal. It was math. Hollywood isn't loyal, it's efficient. And when Rachel became a risk and Jenna became a sure thing, the ship sailed without her.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress. All 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one.
What is that made of?
It's made of glass, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes there's like pieces of it that are poking my...
That's you being mentally deranged, because your action now needs to meet a consequence. You're a nasty piece of work.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. No, the people who you need to entertain, the people who you need to serve, the people who pay your salary.
The cameras are off, the interviews are done, but behind closed doors, the real drama was just getting started. According to insiders, when Rachel Zegler found out she lost Pirates of the Caribbean to Jenna Ortega, it wasn't a quiet, graceful exit. It was a full-scale meltdown. Sources say Rachel's team immediately scrambled for explanations, blaming Disney's marketing department, accusing execs of abandoning her, even suggesting that the South Park parody played a role in destroying her image. And Rachel? She wasn't just mad about losing the role, she reportedly felt betrayed, blindsided by a studio that once pitched her as the future of Disney. There were rumors of screaming fits during private meetings, heated exchanges with her agents, frantic attempts to get ahead of the story before it leaked that Jenna Ortega had officially been offered the part. But the worst part? The calls stopped coming. Other studios, watching the Snow White backlash and the Pirates' implosion unfold in real time, began distancing themselves quietly. Casting conversations dried up. Major franchise projects that once had Rachel's name on early lists, gone. No official blacklist, no memo, just a silent, industry-wide retreat. Because Hollywood is brutal, it doesn't blacklist you with a statement, it just stops returning your calls. And the coldest irony of all? Rachel's own actions, her tone-deaf interviews, her combative stance, her refusal to pivot, locked the doors she thought her talent would always open.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
You know, what's really interesting about this is not that this is something new. Rachel Zegler.
But is she not seen as box office poison now because of all of her antics?
Disney knew the storm was coming. The moment Rachel Zegler started trending for the wrong reasons, the executives at Burbank flipped into damage control mode. This wasn't just about a casting change. It was about preserving a billion-dollar franchise that had already been bleeding relevance. So what did Disney do? They didn't release a statement. They didn't fire anyone publicly. They did what Disney always does when panic strikes. They pivoted in silence. Marketing teams scrubbed early visuals hinting at Rachel's connection to pirates. Early drafts of the script, those written with her character front and center, were revised. Internal promo timelines were pushed, and most importantly, they fast-tracked Jenna Ortega's onboarding. Now here's the wild part. Jenna didn't announce her casting with a glossy photo shoot or a tweet storm. She let the buzz build, let the headlines swirl, let the public fall in love with the idea of her being the new pirate queen before saying a word. Then, boom, one cryptic Instagram post, a ship's silhouette, a moonlit sea, no caption, and the internet lost its collective mind. It was clean, sharp, strategic, the anti-Rachel. And Disney? They leaned hard into the contrast. Leaked whispers to the trades. Jenna brings the edge we need. This will be a darker, more grounded reboot. We're returning to character-driven storytelling. Translation? No more preachy messaging, no more controversy, just vibes. Jenna isn't just a casting choice, she's a course correction. A signal that Disney has heard the backlash, seen the numbers, and is finally trying to get back to making magic, without making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
When I did television shows when I was younger, they would take us to media training, or they would call it, Disney 101.
Did you go to the prom or any of that stuff, or did you have to go with your mom or something?
They had a prom, but then Disney also has a separate prom for their
They
kids.
do?
Yeah, it's kind of...
Make no mistake, Rachel Zegler's crash and burn isn't an isolated incident. It's a symptom of something much bigger. For years, Hollywood thought it could ignore the audience. reboot beloved classics without heart, lecture fans instead of entertaining them, cram politics into fairy tales, call it progress, and cash the check before the backlash hit. But Snow White, pirates? They weren't just movies. They became battlegrounds. And Rachel? She was the perfect storm. A talented star who got caught in a machine that forgot one basic truth. People don't watch movies to be scolded. They watch movies to dream. Now Disney, Warner Bros.,